We are the Spoiler Kings. We are doing what are we doing this week? We are doing a double feature. So our first movie we're doing is Don't Look Up over on Netflix. Came out 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're a little late to the party, but everyone is talking about this stupid movie. Like
Everyone.
all over Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Like it's I see so many people talking about it right now. So it's definitely one that I wanted to watch.
Give it a month, it'll die down. Just like was that Bird's Nest? And
Bird Box. He's talking about Bird Box.
Oh, Bird Box.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
It
was so hot for a
movie.
second, and then like it died down. Boom.
And out of all the hotness of Netflix, the only movie I have not seen or series is the Tiger Guy. I never found it.
Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But I mean, that's what Netflix does. They make awesome films, or theoretically awesome, and then they last for a few days, and then that's it. So, hey, what is up, Randy? Oh man, we got a bunch of people. We got somebody over on Facebook, some Twitch people.
Thank you for stopping by.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by. But yeah, man, you want to get this one going? You want to read the rundown real quick, and we play the trailer?
Sure, let's do it. Don't Look Up, 2020 film. It did come out on streaming Netflix, which was nice, so you could watch it at home. It's a 2021 American satirical black comedy written, produced, and directed by young homie Adam McKay, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence as two astronomers attempting to warn humanity about an approaching comet that will destroy human civilization. Now, I'm not talking just like making, a slight tsunami. I'm talking taking out humanity, right? And so the reason why it's a satirical comedy is because it takes the point of view of how society would take it, with the whole social media involved and the whole, media control of the government and all that. They control what you see and share and talk about and think about even. And so it's so funny because they're trying to talk about a life-ending thing, right? They're trying to warn the president. The president is played by none other than Meryl Streep. It's not a big spoiler, but we are the spoiler kings.
You see that in the trailer.
Yeah. But and they try to warn her, and she just takes it lightly, like, oh, okay, next topic. Like, what? I understand you have an agenda, but this is gonna end your agenda if you don't, get to it. What are you gonna say?
No, the beginning of that clip, the movie clip.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel when I go up a flight of stairs. My ribs, I get that sharp pain in my ribs and shit. That's how you know he out-eat himself.
Yeah.
Look at him, yeah. That pain, like,
You've been there.
So that's how you know he out-eat. What's the other dude? Oh God,
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, yes. And that's the shot. Besides the movie plot, which it's pretty damn good. We'll talk about it in a second. But I don't know if that was deliberate. Or I know Jonah Hill started losing weight after Moneyball. Okay, so I know that because Brad Pitt inspired him, because during the set Brad Pitt was actually working out. So that's crazy. I don't know if Leo just packed out a few pounds for that role, or it's just a suit. But I don't know if you guys know anything about that.
I noticed that too. He did. So he was on his way to losing hella weight, and I don't know if he was because he was chasing down a role. I heard people saying that in like a bunch of articles, but yeah, right. He got
that's him now.
Wow.
And he went blonde. He
not feeling the blonde.
Nah.
Makes him more conceited.
What's up, Hollywood? Not like that. But
he's like Eddie Murphy in
I'm not digging
spandex.
Ooh,
I'm not digging it, man. I don't know if this is for a role or what, but not digging it.
Yeah, with the tattoo.
I figure it's got to be.
Yeah, that's what I figured too. But yeah, man. So what are some of the good things you liked about this movie? Either one of you guys.
Go ahead, Will. Your show.
So, pretty much for me, the cast was stacked. Stack. So one person that really like just did it for me and carried me throughout the whole movie, because the movie is filled with a bunch of unbelievable like surreal event after event after event. You're like, what did that really just happen? What that? And it's not like mind-blowing to where you question reality, but it's just like you see that society does not care about serious current events. They care about what's hot and what's not, and that's portrayed so much in this movie. And so I do like the comedic relief of Jonah Hill, who plays like the president's son, who's like has no credibility. He has no actual training, no skill set whatsoever, other than just moving his mouth. And so it's so funny because like with what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence, she keeps getting kidnapped, right? Because she keeps opening her mouth herself. And every time she gets kidnapped, right, by FBI or whatever, for opening her mouth, like talking about, what is it, national secrets or whatever,
classified info.
Yeah, classified information. Yeah.
She keeps getting bags.
Yeah.
They put a bag over her head, and like Jonah Hill comes out with this line. I don't know if it was improv or not, but he's like, "Yeah, that bag that keep putting on you. Yeah, that's me. That was my idea.
It was my idea.
We didn't have to do it. That's not even part of protocol, but I made it happen." And he just totally owned up to it, and that was just. It had me dying. I was done before. I had to pause the video real quick because it was that funny.
Yeah, but the feds don't do it. The CIA does that.
Exactly. That was pretty good. I do like the portrayal of, rest in peace to like Steve Jobs, but a person like Steve Jobs is what I envision is, what's his name?
It was Peter. Mm-hmm. He had that Bash. Bash was his company, which is also funny.
Bash Industries. Pretty much the Peter guy. He did a good job.
Yeah, Mark Rylance.
Monday.
Rylance,
him.
Rylance. Yeah.
I did a good job portraying like a know-it-all, chauvinistic, entrepreneur that doesn't care about peer evaluation, like about simple things like that. It's funny as hell. But anyways, what about you, Fredo? What was some of the things that you liked so much about this movie?
You pretty much hit it on the head. I mean, the cast was awesome. I'm looking here. Chris Evans, he was in it. And
he was briefly, but yes.
I'm like, yeah, he was briefly, but I'm like, man, this, you got Ariana Grande also, Meryl Streep. I'm like, are these desperate people, or these are
Kid
people
Cudi?
just like, or these are people that, they just want to kill some time. But overall,
don't forget it's Adam McKay. Adam McKay is an Academy Award winner, director. He is not and his movies are very political driven. Very like funny, stupid funny kind of thing. People love being in his movies. I heard he's like really good to work with, like as a director.
Yeah.
So
I can see that because there's a lot of big hitters in that movie. You could tell about the politicalness. You can see it's favored one side, not the other, and it's because it's all about money and all about me. Don't worry about everybody else, just me, kind of thing. And just like it's almost scary. It really is, because you never know when the next meteor the size of Mount Everest might hit Earth. You just never know. And as far as I know, we only cover 3% of the sky, so that's a huge ass sky. I got that from Armageddon, by the way. So
yeah, true.
So make a long story short, that's how life is. It's all about follows and likes and money. Instead of saving humankind, we just want to get the follows. We want to get the reps. And the ending is kind of sad in the ending. It really is, because they know what's going to happen. They're trying to enjoy their last meal, and it's just greed. Greed killed them. Honestly,
yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of good favorite parts of mine.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the cast is crazy because it was just like, here's another person, another one, and it's just like freaking, what's his name? The another one guy. I can't think of his stupid name.
Oh, Big Pun and another one.
No.
DJ Khaled.
Huh?
DJ Khaled?
DJ Khaled. Like he was just out there sending like different celebs out. You go, here's one more. There's Tyler Perry. It was like, what the hell? It's like crazy. Here's Ron Perlman. I was like, what? Ron Perlman played that role perfectly. Yeah. They got such a because he's a very intimidating guy. And I felt like that was good. Oh, we got Sandy in chat. What's up? There needs to be an alternate ending. I wouldn't mind that. Although I don't know if I would like the alternate ending either, because the alternate ending means the rich people win and the rich people get more money. So because that would be the alternate ending, right?
Unless someone assassinated Peter or killed him, and then they will never make those machines or robots. So there's an old ass movie, 1986, I believe it's, or 89. I'm showing my age, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You guys were like -3 at that time, I guess. But there's a movie called Miracle Mile. Write it down, check it out, look it up. Miracle Mile. That movie is a trip. It has the similarity of that movie, but a modern faction to it. So it's good. It's a really good movie. But yeah, alternate ending, that'd be awesome.
I wouldn't mind it if like Adam McKay wants to maybe if they filmed it, that would be really cool. So Sandy said, I just mostly wanted to see the main character win, and still let the bad guys go on their random away ship. That would be kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, pay close attention to the very ending though.
Yeah, like the post credit.
No, well, when Meryl Streep, whatever. I'm freezing in the basement. I'm cold. I got shorts on. Anyway, when she came out of that ship after their 27,000 years or whatever they came out, she got eaten by that peacock-looking thing. I don't know. When she got eaten, if you look around and pay attention, there's more heading towards them.
Oh yeah.
So it's like they're gonna get theirs basically. Their humankind is over with. Yeah, and
like they. But it's also you send the people that don't know how to survive to a planet to survive. It was like, you guys need people to boss around to survive. It was like, so. True. But that's but I think Adam McKay really does this a lot. Where he'll either take a story, like he took the whole housing bubble movie. Was it the Big Short?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. That he did, and The Big Short, and made a great movie with that. And that was the whole like housing bubble, I believe it was, how the bank screwed everyone over. So he's able to take like stuff that happened and like do like these really like funny things where you're like, I shouldn't be laughing at this because this is horrible. And he did Vice a few years ago. So when me and Fredo did our like Oscar movies, Vice was one of them, and I loved that movie. It was so well done, like stuff like that. So I was expecting nothing short than like a movie like that, and I think this like definitely kind of held up to Adam McKay's kind of standard, at least with the political side, because he directed Step Brothers, which obviously it's one of my favorite movies. Anchorman, Talladega Nights, So yeah, this was like really like up his alley with all this kind of stuff. But man, it's just like going back to like what Will said with Jonah Hill's character Jason and Jennifer Lawrence's character Kate. I like their relationship of like them annoying each other, because the one part where they're in the room waiting, like, and they're just on the floor, and he's like, "Oh, you Randall, you come with me, you're the new head of blah blah blah," and then he's like, "Oh, you guys hungry?" He's like, and he throws like chips and water at them, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And then the best one's like, "Oh, yeah."
He turns it on the ground.
And then he goes, "Oh, do you want to really come in?" They're like, "Yeah." And he just like closes the door. He doesn't say like anything else. I was like, "Oh man," it's just like, I feel that's like Jonah Hill in real life, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, I can see that.
Such a big brother
like,
moment.
he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're a fan? You want an autograph?" And he'll just like walk away.
Walk away.
Yeah. But
One of
I
the
mean, it was
go ahead, man.
that was funny. No, go ahead.
and one of the things was I knew it was gonna be like a really sneaky, tricky movie,
Mm.
not serious at all. When they found out the general gave them a bag of chips and water, and said it's $20. It's $20. Yeah, can you believe this shit? You know, it's the White House. It's $20. And then later they find out, how much are these? Where do I pay for this? They're free. Like, that son of a bitch.
The general.
The general out of all people.
Kind of scheming.
She doesn't drop it.
No.
She doesn't drop
The whole
it
movie,
the entire
she doesn't
movie,
drop it.
which is hilarious because it's kind of like a whole. Because that's kind of like the theme of the whole thing is like these people in power just fuck with you because they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like literally like the whole theme of the movie is just her reminding you, hey, rich people and people in power are gonna screw you because they have the power to. And it's kind of like, damn, you know, it's like, but she every time when she met Yule, Timothy Chalamet's character for the first time, and they're sitting down and she's like finishing it, he's like, yeah, I don't know why he did it. It was like every time it got me because it was so funny, it was so stupid.
It was, man.
Oh man,
I want to do that. I want to do that to somebody one day. Maybe that's my goal for this year, for 2022.
You gotta have the power to do that because then no one's gonna question you. You'll be like, what?
That's funny.
But yeah, so all right. So what about some of the bad stuff? What are some of the bad things you guys didn't like? Will, you wanna go first?
Yeah. So in regards to, let's see, one character in particular that I felt like had a role and wasn't used the way I would have wanted him to be used, like, is Dr. Teddy, whatever his name is.
Oh, Teddy.
Teddy, yeah, the defense.
Teddy Organthal or some whatever it was.
There you go. Yes, him. He was kind of funny, and I didn't get to see him as much as I wanted to. And I know there's other big stars in this movie that you gotta have shine, but I felt like he was underused. I do. Oh my god, this was a funny thing, but it's so messed up that I didn't like the shit he was saying, but I understood why he was saying it. And it's Ron Perlman when he's trying to be the hero and navigate the rocket, whatever, to go like deal with the comet. He starts saying some fucked up shit, like some homophobic. What did he say? I don't even want to say it actually, but it was like some homophobic stuff. It was like some things that are definitely
fat shaming.
He was fat shaming.
Fat shaming kids.
Yeah, terrible things that you should never do. And I was like, was that necessary for the movie? Did you have to incorporate that? And I understand you had to get rid of a hero, right? But that little faction that they used was just, man, that was just rough. Like, whoever watched that and laughed is going to hell.
Sorry.
Yeah, same here. But yeah, it was, and then they kept saying like, "Oh, he's from a different generation."
Like that
every single time. Even when he was getting shot into space, he's like, "Oh, all the hardworking white people." Down. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then the whole Indian thing.
Yep.
Oh, I was like, "Geez," and then some guy is like, "Oh, he's from a different generation." It's so funny. It's so funny because that's like something we tell, you know, it's like whenever like our grandparents or whatever boomer says something really messed up, you're like, oh, it's
sad because it's not that big of a difference. 20 years, you know. I'm 44 with talking to a 24-year-old and the way they think of things, the way I grew up with, and they're like, what the hell, you know? No, that's not it. What's shitty about that is he's talking all this mad shit going up. Oh, wait, never mind. Now he comes back to Earth. Now he has all millions of enemies. So what did you say about idiots? But it is, the bad stuff about, I didn't really like Tyler Perry and his role with Kate Blanchett, the news anchors or whatever. They were making fun of trying to make light of dark things without it got so annoying. I'm like, dude, just shut the fuck up. This is serious. Sorry for swearing.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
It's like, you know, it annoyed me. And it really annoyed me when Blanchett kept coming on to Leo and Leo caved, and we're like, dude, you love your wife, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then
Oh
later I
yeah.
found out the wife is a crazy chick from Two and a Half Men.
Oh, that is her. I
Yeah.
didn't recognize her. I don't know her
Yeah.
name, but yeah, okay. Oh, okay. That
And
is her.
Rose looked pretty good, man. She looked good. She
Agreed.
aged well. She aged very
Yeah.
well.
There it
But
is.
yeah, that I think throughout the whole movie, one of the funny parts is at the end where they show the rooftop and they had like one giant massive orgy on one of the rooftops.
Yeah.
That was funny to me. But it was crazy that every time they went on that set, it just annoyed me. And I'm like, oh my God. So
Well,
I
do
feel
you know
better.
the purpose for having that the what's his name, Tyler Perry and the other lady? You know, was the purpose of the purpose of them doing that, right? Why they kept like really. So my take is the reason why they were doing that is just really showing the an example of how when you try to talk about something serious in society, right? For example, like global warming, right? I don't mean to get political. Is the like most smallest thing I'll get to being political, but global warming, right? Something that's going on in the world that there's data there proving that it's there. No one wants to talk about it because they'd rather see what's hot and what's trending at the moment, what's on TikTok or something, right?
I see.
And so I don't know if you realize, I don't know if it was just me, but them two, Tyler Perry and the other one, reminded me of like Michael Strahan and what's her name?
Oh my God.
Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa,
Kelly Ripa. There you go. I think that's the trope that they were going for, and them kept referencing like oh yeah, like they were just downplaying the serious topic of like end of humanity type stuff, and just the whole I didn't like Leonardo DiCaprio's. I know why he did it, but I didn't like the reason that he was such a shy, mellow dude, and he had to like come out later and start yelling and like. I didn't like that, man. It made me think. It made me feel so sorry for the little guy scientist that can't speak for himself.
Right.
Yeah. So Sandy came in. She said the rooftop scene is also why I wanted the mission to be successful. You can imagine the next morning. Yeah, which is kind of like that's funny. That's fun. You could probably make a couple alternate endings with this one. You know, it's like the rich guys win, or you know, all the rich people leave the planet just for the meteor to like
crash to the ship and deflect it.
Yeah, you know, something like that. I didn't even think about that. You know, but stuff like that, like for sure, like that would be cool. But that's funny though.
Well,
but yeah, man.
She forgot her son.
Oh,
yeah, she's a horrible. Yeah, she's a horrible person.
I know. He's like, she's coming back.
You kind of felt bad for him for a little bit.
It did. Even though he was a dick the whole movie, but yeah,
it was. And that's the funny thing. Karma is because he's talking that shit about everybody. He's putting everybody down. At the very end, he dies alone.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And it was also like obviously this was very political. I mean, like Faye was like, I'm like, no, it's a lot of political. But like he keeps referencing the president. Oh, she's a smoke show. She should be in Playboy. He goes, oh, you know, I would hook up with her. But he kept following it up by like, oh, if she wasn't my mom. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Weird.
I don't want to say there's a reference to somebody else that said stuff like that with one of their family members. But it was definitely he was definitely a mashup between a few different famous quote unquote political people, you know. He was definitely a mashup. So, I mean, a lot of them were like different mashups of different attitudes and egos, I felt like. But going back to what like Fredo was saying, like the one thing I really, really, really didn't like was Randall and Kate Blanchett's character, them hooking up. I didn't like that. I felt like like I get it, you know, just to push like, oh, he has to change. Like he went Hollywood and then he came back from, you know, but it's like you didn't have to do that. Right. I felt like he could have like maybe like she could have kept pressing and he could have kept saying no. And like, I feel like his wife could have like caught him like pushing her off, but he was like pants her down kind of thing, you know, and get the same effect of it. But
True.
like him actually going full on like Hollywood, kind of it, where like making commercials and shit, So
Yeah, with the
but that
Muppets,
was the one part.
Sesame Street.
Yeah. Yeah. And also it was like, call this number if you need emotional support or emotional help. But it's like only to the people who own the bash phone, and then your credit card gets charged for every minute. It was like he said a bunch of quick things at the end.
Yeah.
But that was the one bad thing I really disliked was that part. I was like,
But I was thinking, June, which is Leo's wife. I thought she was gonna hook up with Tyler Perry, just because, vengeance or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, she kept it pure.
Yeah,
she did. It made you feel that much more bad for her. And then, like when she took him in at the very end because they knew, end of the world was gonna happen. All failed plans. All plans failed. Leading up to that point, and she letting him in. It was like, damn, they hit you in the feels because you were like, she cheated on him. He cheated on her. Went Hollywood, and then has the nerve to come back for one final meal. Like if you could take a high road or a low road, most people would take the low road and be like, nah, screw you, die alone, type stuff. But she did choose to bring him in, so that was a nice thing.
Yeah, that was basically the love of her life.
Yeah. But like Kate's parents, that was horrible. I did not see that coming when Kate went back home. Because like her life is just completely falling to shit, and her parents would have let her back in. They're like, "Oh, this country's already divided enough. We don't want you here." I was like, "That's fucked up." But it's also, again, looking in the mirror of like what's going on with today's society. Like family members not talking because of this and that. So, this whole movie is nothing but
that was a
real world. Yeah, political, but there's a lot of like family members that just don't talk because of political things.
No, not because of political, but
political, just political. I'm sure there's other reasons, but this whole movie is things exaggerated to the max. It was the people freaking out extremely. The people not freaking out are like super cool about it. It's like the whole like, oh, the world's gonna end in 6 months. Okay, let's sit and assess. So he's like, what? So So that I thought it was really good with that. But the same thing with Tyler Perry and Kate Blanchett. It was like they were the tabloid news people. Like to the max. They were like super exaggerated version of Michael Strahan and Kelly Ripa. But you guys want to go on to the reviews?
Let's do it.
All right, Will, let them know.
All right. So here at the Nerd Huddle, us spoiler kings, and Panda, of course, you're spoiler king too. Fuck it. We like to review movies a little bit differently over here. Okay, so we don't do the 5 stars. We don't do anything like that. We have our own mechanic that you see right there in the corner. So we either rate a movie a watch now, a watch later, or a watch never. A watch now means drop everything, spend all your money towards watching this movie, getting this subscription service, if it's that. A watch later means, the movie's okay. You can put it on the back burner. You don't have to watch it right now because it's just an okay movie. And a watch never means don't even give this movie any time of day. Don't spend your money because it's trash. With that being said, Panda, since you're on the show, fresh guest, how do you rate this movie? Now, later, or never?
I want to say now because one, it's on Netflix. So when it's a top 10 for a while, Netflix removes top 10 videos or movies. So watch it now before you won't get the chance to. Another thing is, it is so, I don't want to say realistic, but it is a what if kind of thing might happen. And is that the route are they going to take? Is social media going to get involved and get the likes instead of saving humanity? They're going to save, face. Do they want the money on the rock, or they want to save human beings? So I want to say it's scary. It's more not scary. How about nerve-wracking? Because you never know how the chips might fall. And if the way that movie is, can it happen in real life? Possibly. Let's just hope there's more common sense people in real life than there is in that movie. So I will say, let's watch it now. And sorry for spoiling it, but it's a movie that you don't think what's going to happen, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So real quick, we got a few comments before we go on. So Martin said, yeah, she June, the wife, took the high road because though she rode because she also cheated on him with and Martin knows that remembers the name Aaron Tram in college is what she admitted to him, which is kind of like also like we're cool, but hey, just so you know, like, you know, I did cheat on you back then too. It was like a little jab, and he's like, I deserved it. So, and then so I thought that was really cool of what they wrote for that character to do. I'm not which character is he talking about?
I'm guessing June.
June.
I'm guessing June.
Yeah, because she had to be the wholesome mom kind of character.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. And now, I mean, if it's
DJ said, "Whoop."
What's up, DJ?
But
it remind me.
No, I'll go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said it reminded me a lot of Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. It kind of did. I saw a lot of that.
Yeah, I never saw
less love story ish, more bonkers world end of the world part. But yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
All right. So what were you saying about June?
Yeah, I think she just admitted that to him just to tell him and show him that, you know, I'm not innocent as well. However, they're already married. What Leo did, I don't think they were married in college. So it's a comparison. It's apples and oranges. However, I think it showed that she's like, you know, it's more of a like, it's okay because this is what I did back then. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's how I kind of took that.
Yeah. All right. Well, what about you? Do now, later, or never?
So for me, I'm gonna rate this a now. Just based off of the fact that it had a stacked cast. It touched on some like sciencey type things, so I kind of like that too, because me being a nerd at the Nerd Huddle, I like science. And then also too, I feel like this movie is a watch now, and everyone should watch it now because it kind of portrays a message, and it kind of piggybacking off of what Panda said, with you know, greed being the killer of all. You know, before anything, greed killed them. Before even the comic came, everyone was rioting and whatever because they're like, oh, you know, we can't profit off the rock. We can't do this. We can't, like, so greed killed them before anything. And social media is also just as evil. So with all this clout chasing and everything going on in the world, I feel like this movie had to be talked about and had to be, you know, just seen by the world so we can get us talking about not just caring about the materialistic type things in the world, but also our family and friends, and get to like the seriousness of what matters in the world. That's why I think it should be a watch now. It did really well. Everyone did a great job. I don't really have too many missed opportunities for this movie, although I do agree with you with the thing that you said you disliked, Tank. You said about the affair.
Like
yeah, that
affair,
was that was, you could take that out, and the movie's the same thing. So I agree. But yeah, that's for me. It's a watch now. What about you, Tank?
So real quick, because we got DJ coming in a little bit more. So DJ said, yeah, not as much of a dark romantic as Seeking a Friend. Oh yeah, definitely not. That was definitely dark romantic. This one's just a dark,
satirical,
quote unquote, real, yeah, satirical. And then he also said, I love it though, and I feel like Kate dealing with COVID as the comment daily. I'm not sure. Dealing with COVID as the comment daily.
I think
oh, substituting the comic as COVID.
What was that? Oh yeah. That, I mean, that's kind of what the whole thing was instead of the big comet coming down, it was the COVID kind of thing.
The COVID.
But yeah.
COVID.
But yeah, so I would rate this one a now. It was really funny. I thought it was really well done. It really kind of made you think, you know, like what DJ said, you know, like like how you can directly draw a comparison to what's going on today to it. Obviously this is super exaggerated, like to the max, where the world will end. Obviously, COVID's not going to like destroy the world, but it's just like how people look at each other differently, how slogans off of social media, because like at the end it was like, just look up, like the comments right there, and then you had a whole other crowd like, don't look up, look forward and keep going. I was like, geez, it's like, but that's on both sides of the spectrum. Everyone needs to have their little one liner. But yeah, it was a good, like, make you like look and reevaluate kind of your life and like what you're really doing, kind of stuff. So I like that. Then Adam McKay's pretty good at that, like, I like the movie, but it was like when he saw the comment, he goes, it's beautiful and horrible at the same time. And that's exactly kind of what this movie was. It was beautifully, I thought, done. I thought it was really, really well done. But it was like sucky to watch because you're like, I see that happening. Oh, I see that happening. Oh, that happens, So it was a lot of like damn, like he got a lot right.
Ugly truths, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what it was. Exactly what it was.
I know Jennifer Lawrence's character took it the hardest at the very end. Like,
I think she accepted it the most though at the end. I think she was just like, because she got screwed over so hard. And she's like, why do I care? Why do I care so much? And she kind of, I don't want to say found love, but found somebody to like be with, more or less, with Timothy Chalamet's character Yol, which he was like this big punk rock kind of guy, and then he winds up being like super churchy, growing up. So I thought that was kind of, like she turned around, she's like, oh look, there's the comment, and she's like laughing and crying and happy. Turns around, he's like praying. She's like, it was really interesting. Even his character was really well done for the little bit he was in it, because he was not in it that much, and I don't know why they got such a big actor to play such a small role, but I just think everyone wants to be in an Adam McKay movie. So, of course. What it do, Dr. Derpy? What's up? And then it goes, I love the surprise at the end of the credits. So yeah, so real quick, we'll do Rotten Tomatoes, and then we'll do the after credits, because there was a little thing. So Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 56%, I'm sorry, which is bad. Technically bad. But the audience gave it a 77, which is, I can see that. But a lot of these movies tend to do that. Like obviously one side of the political spectrum is probably gonna not like this as much as the other side. Right. So, and then that kind of the same thing is like no one wants to look at themselves. And that's everybody. No one wants to like look and try to like, oh, he was making fun of me. That's funny. It's like, oh, he was making fun of me. Oh, he sucks. It's horrible. Blah, blah, blah. Because I'm not going to lie. A lot of the critics, I was going through the critics right now, and you can tell the people, most of it, not all of them, but most of the people who didn't like it were definitely from one side of the TV, political side. But it is what I thought it was pretty good with what it did. But yeah, 77. I think the audience mostly liked it as well. So, but yeah, so real quick before we end the show, DJ talked about the end credits. So there was kind of two end credits scenes.
Yeah, it was like a mid-credit scene, and then there was an end credit scene. It was like right then.
So the first one was basically them. Excuse me. The first one was, they left, all the rich people left, I think 2,000 people, and they were going to the next planet, and they said, I didn't think, but it was 22,000 years later, which is insane, but it was very specific. It was like 22,174, something random. So I was like, I feel like that's some like math, like that's an actual number to whatever theoretical planet like that could be next to Earth. I don't know, it was too specific. Yeah, but yeah, so like I don't know if you guys notice, as they're like getting shot out from their little like pod thingies. They shoot out, and one kind of like becomes a dud and just floats off to the side. And later you see it crash into a mountain when they land.
Yeah.
And then Peter, the Steve Jobs kind of guy, as they all come out naked, he's like, oh, 56% of the pods made it. And it was like, he's like, half of the people died. And he's just like, oh, those are good numbers. I was like, what the hell?
He even said it. He's like, I didn't expect that much. I'm like, what?
What? Yeah, I know.
Why'd you include 100% of people if you only thought half of them were gonna survive anyways?
That's insane. But it's kind of like also like how much they care about people. It was like, no, as long as we have enough of whatever I need, we're good. So yeah. So I thought that was funny. But she the president comes out and she like walks up and like she got a tramp stamp, which is hilarious too. And that's actually her. She said that was actually Meryl Streep, like, you know, seeing her booty like as she's walking.
A word?
And she, I think she said like something, she saw those like weird ostriches. She goes, are those scales or feathers? And as it like attacks her and basically kills her. So I thought that was
a Brock talk, I think it was called.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He did.
How does he even know that? By the way, how does he know? How does he know?
Yeah, no.
I didn't even think about that. I was like,
you know, right? He's like, oh, that thing right there. Oh, that's a Bronchodorus. Like what? Typically, what that creature is called. It's a whole new planet, dude.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. But what did you guys think about that first ending post credit?
I think it was nice. It was like it was a nice cherry on top of everything that went on, and it was just a good way to end it to where, you know, everybody gets their karma. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was something small. It wasn't too like mind blowing ish. It wasn't like a Marvel mid credit scene, but yeah, it was good. What about you,
Fredo?
No, that scene I enjoyed it. And then I understood when he said, oh, 56% of the pods made it. I understood that because past movies, once again, I'm referencing Armageddon, you always have a backup. So you don't want to take, all we need is like 10 people. Let's just take 10. No, let's take 2,000 and let's see what happens. Somebody needs to reproduce something there. So I understand those numbers when he was talking about that.
Yeah. So real quick, so Sandy said he knew what it was because that was listed as her planned death, and he didn't know what it was at the time. That's right, because like he's like the whole Facebook kind of thing where he knows everything, and he even knows how you're gonna die.
How do you get those algorithms to know those things?
Yeah. It's also like it proves it wrong because he told Rando, he's like, you're gonna die alone, and it was the opposite. You know, he died with the people that meant the most to him, you know, which was good. But obviously she died according to his algorithm. I forgot about that. Thank you, Sandy. That was like right at the end.
Maybe he said that he was going to die alone if natural causes, like, you know, because he said something with there was a polyp, colon cancer or something like that. But considering it's a national disaster kind of thing, end of the world, I could see why, you know, that didn't come true. But either way, he's dead.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
But and then Martin said Greg Jennings could alter another movie to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm not sure, man.
Never seen it.
I saw the movie. I'm trying to think of also I saw it a long time ago. Sorry, man. That one's over my head. Maybe I gotta get a refresher. Yeah, and then the last little post credit was, I guess Jonah Hill isn't dead. He kind of comes out of the rubble and still holding on to her purse, which is hilarious.
Wow, yeah.
And then pulls out his phone. He goes, "Hey, what's up? Social media. I'm the last man on the planet. You know, like and subscribe." I thought it was like, that's funny. That's so funny because even like in a world where there's no other people, like it's so ingrained. Like it's just like a second nature to do that for some people. Yeah. Where he goes, "I'm the last person." Like it's that was just so funny.
He's
he was like FaceTiming. Yeah, it was
FaceTiming who? I don't know. He's the last guy on Earth.
Yeah, I mean he's not even getting a signal. I mean, there's no way there's a signal. Yeah. So how'd you guys like that one?
That one, It was
Yeah,
funny.
love funny.
I kind of, yeah, I don't know. You mean after all that wiped out the dinosaurs? You mean roaches, Twinkies, and Jonah Hill lived after that explosion? So
Yep.
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty decent. I like the original ending, the first post one.
Yeah,
That one I like.
yeah. I think that was part of the end. Even though it came after the credits, I think that was still part of the original ending. Sandy said, "I saw a signal tower floating out in space." Yeah, right.
Probably. Yeah.
You also
And
saw.
that's another thing.
Go ahead.
No, I was like, is he on just of one of the giant rocks floating around, or because you saw Earth like in pieces?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it blew a chunk off, and you saw Jennifer Lawrence's phone going off. You know,
Yeah.
Diet's over.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because that was a countdown to the end of the world with her diet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Then we got DJ. That reminded me of the Twilight Zone when the librarian survives the apocalypse and breaks his glasses. Yeah. That's old school, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Anything else, man, before we move on?
I guess one thing I learned from this movie is don't get lost in your phone and social media, and love the people around you. Yeah, look up.
Yeah.
So actually, do look up. Look up from your phone. I think that's what I take away from this movie.
So one question that we'll always ask is, will you guys watch this again? So, Will, would you watch it again?
Would I watch this? Yes, I would watch this again. So, there's nothing to uncover. I don't think I could watch this a few more times, and I don't think I'd really discover much that would wow me, something nostalgic or something. But I would watch it again because it was entertaining. It was pretty funny. What about you, Alfredo?
Yeah.
I would watch it just maybe one more time, because you know how a perfect example, like in Encanto, when I first watched it the first time in the theater. Okay, yeah, it was fun. And then when you watch the second time, you know what's going to happen, so you don't have to focus on the story as much. Now eyes could wander a little bit, pay attention more about the background. You know, you don't need to focus as hard. That's the only reason why I'll probably watch it for the second time. Other than that, I probably 2 times and that's it.
Okay.
It's not one of those movies that you're like, oh, we gotta see it. No, it's not one of them.
So it's like one of those.
You gotta rewatch it
100
times.
But 2 and done, huh?
Yeah.
2 and done. Yeah.
Is something Flash Screamer? Was that a meteorite passing through your face?
Oh, meteor.
No,
Flash.
Screamer. I saw a flash.
Oh, I might have been.
He's got a.
So we did have a poll up. I don't know if anybody got the poll, but let me check real quick. We got some other comments. DJ said, "I'll watch it again on laundry day." Yeah, I mean it's something
Fair
like
enough.
put on your phone as you're doing the dishes or something.
Yeah.
And then Martin said, "Yeah, I found myself maybe watching it again." See that? And also Jonah Hill in This Is the End, where he's just by himself.
That's so funny. Yeah.
So we got the poll ending. Let that come up real quick. Why does it take so long to end the poll? Crap.
People.
It does. I hit end and then it takes 5 minutes. All right. So we got 5 votes. We got 60% said now and 40% said later. So that's what it kind of. It's pretty close to whatever the audience scored on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's about there. Yeah.
I wonder what they scored it on Rotten Tomatoes. Tomatoes on what is that? Dick with
What?
what's that one movie? The one with Vice. Vice. I'm sorry, not Dick.
Oh, I was like,
because I thought Dick was with Dick Cheney.
I'm like, what movie are you talking about? Who's that?
I think they scored it pretty high, if I'm not mistaken.
Did they?
Actually 65 with the audience and 60 with the audience, 65 with the critics. So at least it's a little bit closer, but it kind of balances out in the end.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think that's it for this one. So if you guys are watching live, hang out. We're gonna do another movie in a few minutes. If you're watching our replay, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. You know, I need Jonah Hill. We need to make that a thing now. Make sure you like, subscribe. Have Jonah Hill say it for us now.
Thanks.
But yeah, man, we're here every Monday and then every Wednesday with some TV shows. But cool. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys later. Wrong movie.
Wrong movie. Yes. See you later, guys.
Later.